the minds. The world is changing, don't stand still. Learn and grow, we've got the will. Keep going, keep growing, keep shining. Every step the world is turning. Stronger together we rise, we learn. Teaching today, shaping tomorrow's world.
Welcome on the ESL live stream for the early birds. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Tell us where you're from. That's the ESL live stream. We are live right now from China, Xi'an, China, the Terracotta Army. Thank you so much for being here. If you're following on Instagram, you're very welcome. We are as well live on Facebook, of course, YouTube. Thank you so much. And LinkedIn, right, as well. Thank you so much for being here. That's the ESL live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about autonomy in the classroom, how to make your students more independent. You don't need to have all the time. You don't need to have to be all the time in their back, right? So we'll see that with our special guest today. So we keep in touch. And let's start the live. Here we go.
In the dawn of time, before writing, before civilization, teaching began. The first teachers were the elders, passing knowledge through stories, fire, and survival. From Mesopotamia to Egypt, the first schools were born. Scribes, philosophers, and scholars emerged to shape the world with wisdom. In the heart of Greece and Rome, teaching became an art. Socrates questioned, Plato imagined, Aristotle defined. The foundations of modern education were set. In the East, Confucius taught that education is the path to virtue and harmony. His teachings shaped generations, laying the foundation for lifelong learning and respect. Through dark ages and enlightenment, knowledge survived in monasteries, mosques, and temples, carried by the devoted. The Renaissance brought a new dawn. Books spread knowledge. Teachers became the architects of thought and progress. In the great academies of China, scholars mastered literature, science, and governance, ensuring that education remained the pillar of society. With industry came schools for all. Education moved from the elite to the people, building the workforce of a new age. From war to peace, teachers became the guardians of knowledge, shaping generations and breaking barriers. Today, classrooms transcend walls. Technology, AI, and innovation redefine teaching, but the heart of education remains unchanged. Dedicated teachers lighting the way. Tomorrow's world is unknown, but one truth remains. Teachers will always shape the future. From the first humans to the far future, teaching is the greatest legacy of humankind.
2.
Hey,
Hello,
Mike.
everyone.
How's it going?
Yo. Doing good. And you?
Yeah. Couldn't be happier. It's a lovely spring day here in England. Looking
It
to go
is.
and enjoy the weekend. Yeah.
Exactly. Back in China, too. The weather is wonderful. Hope you guys, everyone is doing good there. Feel free to leave your message. That's the ESL live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about students' autonomy in the classroom, right? That's an interesting topic.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, how can students learn by themselves? How can we, like one of those little wind-up toys, like tick, 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 and you put them on the table, go tick, 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 by themselves. Learn autonomy. How can they learn by themselves when you're not there? You know.
Yeah, that's a nice image. I like that. Love that one. Feel free, everyone, to say hello in the chat. And today, stay till the end because today we're gonna have a giveaway. I'm gonna give away my course. So you just have
I don't know if it's just Mike that's frozen or if everyone can see me just fine. Yeah, this is a mystery. The old restream. Anyway, I'm gonna just go with it in case I'm coming through fine. In fact, actual fact, if you can tell me if you can see me and you can hear me actually talking right now, that would be really helpful. Just type in the chat box if you can hear me fine. I will continue. So basically, I think what Mike, Mike's left by the looks of things. I think what Mike was about to say is that there's going to be a giveaway at the end of this live stream.
and right back.
Hey, Mike. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me
Connection is
okay?
terrible.
It's okay. It's okay. This is one of the things we're trying to live stream, right? It's quite tricky, but what I was just saying is I think there's going to be a giveaway at the end of this live stream, and you're going to be giving away one of your courses, right?
That's it. Exactly. And I'm gonna add everyone's name. We got Ibtisam already. That's cool. I'm gonna add her name, Ibtisam, and then she'll be here in live. Everyone as well on Instagram. You can just, I'm going to write as well on Instagram. Sorry, it takes a little bit of time, but after that, we'll get used to. You just have to write the hashtag ESL win and we'll be good. Stay till the end. So we'll be the winner. Right, Stu?
Cool. Yeah, that's it. So while you're on this live stream, put in ESL win. Once that's in, you can be in the live draw to win courses. So couldn't be easier. Just type in ESL win. There you go. Hey, Brendan.
Yo, Brendan. Who's it? Mine. Your name too, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna add Brendan as well. All right, let me see.
Brendan, where are you watching from today? Just put in the chat box where you're watching from today.
Exactly. You see, and the live is going on. So let's, without waiting, everyone, Phil, we're gonna welcome Kirstie tonight, specialized in autonomy in the classroom. So here we go. Let's welcome Kirstie.
And now let's welcome today's guest, Kirstie Jackson Wilms.
With that horn right here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for your time, Kirstie. Hope you can hear me. No problem. Some people will say they can't
I
hear
can
me.
hear you fine. Yeah, yeah.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me, by the way. I'm excited to do this. So yeah.
Yeah, welcome. Whereabouts are you
Okay, I'm here.
joining us on today, Kirstie?
I'm in Germany, in the fairly far west of Germany, near Bonn, if people know the geography. We're about 2 hours from the German border, German border with the Netherlands. So
Oh, okay. So kind of like top corner kind of thing.
sort of middle side. If you imagine Germany as a square, and we're kind of in the middle of the western side. So
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah. I got it. So what we normally do, Kirstie, we have a guest on each week, or we try to get a guest on each week, and each week they talk about their kind of specialist subject. So before we get into learner autonomy, which you're quite knowledgeable about and something you've got a big passion in, right? Can you just quickly introduce yourself for everybody, and how long have you been teaching, and what brought you to teaching?
How long have I been teaching? Ages, since 2007. And before I was a teacher, I actually worked with old manuscripts in a library, with sort of the medieval manuscripts, but there's no people involved. And I wanted to do something with people. So I retrained, did my CELTA in 2007, and I've been teaching ever since. I came to Germany in 2010, and never want to do anything else.
So these are they're like the medieval manuscripts you need to put on gloves, kind of thing, and wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got to have a talk about that. That's something that really interests me, actually.
Let's do it. Yeah. I can have a proper geek out about manuscripts as well.
Oh, let's do it. It's on. We got a date.
All right, you guys stop chilling for a while. Come on. All right, here we go. So we're gonna start with the. I'm still here. This time you can hear me all fine. Here we go with the first question. So, what does learner autonomy really mean in the context of ESL classroom, and how has your own understanding of it changed over time?
That's a really good question. In the context of the ESL classroom, it's pretty much what Stu was saying, I think, at the beginning. It's about handing responsibility for learning over to the learners. So the learners start to decide more how they learn, who they want to learn with, what they want to learn. But it's at the same time moving the responsibility away from the teacher. What I used to think was I stayed sort of as a teacher in charge of the classroom, and I just said to the learners, go away and learn, but without changing the paradigm, the sort of the power paradigm in the classroom. So it's much more about shifting that paradigm so it's more level, teachers and learners on the same level together, than having the teacher kind of up here with all the control and just saying, go away and learn. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes really good sense, actually, is, shifting levels down and empowering your students to know how to go away and learn, right? And when I first started teaching, I really just thought about the classroom, my own lesson plans, my own view of what was going to be going on. I might set some homework, which I'd check. It was very teacher-centered, and it was very classroom-centered. And I didn't really think about learner autonomy at all. How would the students be learning? outside of the classroom? What would be the process? Is it work?
Yeah.
I didn't put thought to it. And I think as the years went by and I got more experience, I got more interested in learner autonomy. But yeah, for lots of people, it can be like quite a buzzword, right? We kind of think we know things, but we don't really know how to do it. So what kind of methods
It's
might you
scared
use?
of losing the control, right?
Yeah.
Be scared of losing control.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's classroom management here is going to be a big deal, because it's good to leave the kids working for themselves about the topic, but it's often sometimes you feel like, it's like driving without your hands on the stairwell.
Yeah, you're on a bike and you're steering just with your back or your bottom or something.
Yeah.
And exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
yeah, we have
teachers, a lot of teachers have a fear of losing control of the classroom. They feel that they should be holding the rope of all of the students. You've got students at the end of all different ropes, and the teacher holds it. And you can be intimidated by allowing your students or encouraging your students to learn independently.
Yeah, I know when I did my CELTA, and it was very much, if you don't know what's happening every second of that lesson, you've not done your job properly, essentially. And it's just about having the confidence as a teacher to step back a bit. And the learners, how to manage themselves. They learn about group work. It's not just the English knowledge, the language knowledge that they're learning. They're learning how to manage themselves as well, which it can be scary. When I started experimenting with more autonomy in the classroom, I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. But the learners stepped up to the plate and they did it.
How did when you just when you first started experimenting with learner autonomy, how did you do it? Like what did you do?
What did I do? Little things to start with, more to do with classroom management. And giving learners sort of the choice to say who they wanted to work with, if it was group work, or how they wanted to approach an activity. Did they want to do it as a listening? Did they want to do it as a reading? If we're doing listening, the students have control over the audio button, for example. If they want to play something back, then they can play it back. Little things like that. And then the learners sort of get the taste for it, for autonomy.
I like that.
And then you can start to move into giving them choices about what they want to learn. So they start to learn to reflect on their strengths and their weaknesses. If it's important to know something now, if it's an important gap in their knowledge, or if that can save till later and this is more important. So they start to learn to prioritize. You start to learn to prioritize your learning as well.
Got it. Yeah. So students are learning or getting practice with little bite-sized practice sessions of like you say with the rewind button. If you're doing a listening activity, rather than the teacher having their finger on the button, you get one of your students to, and if they want to listen to it again, they can select to go back. That's really a good little tip, actually. And then giving them different options as well. So you can learn about this or this. It's up to you. So I love it. It's good differentiation in the classroom as well. Make it very learner-centered.
And then if you've got, it's more work, I admit, for the teacher, but if you've got two groups doing different things, and then there's a plenary at the end and they teach each other, and then you've got more autonomy, you've got more practice. So Yeah.
Yeah, you do develop it in. So what is it when you're as teachers, we often discuss the theory about learner autonomy. We think we know what it means, but why is it that lots of teachers don't really give it a go in practice?
I think different people mean different things by autonomy. So different people might be doing different parts of autonomy in the classroom. I had a look at the research, and there's at least 5 different definitions of learner autonomy out there. So everybody might be doing something different. That's one thing. Another thing, as we were saying about CELTA, you're not encouraged to let go when you're training. And I think fear has a big part. What happens if? What happens if the learners don't learn? What happens if the classroom management breaks down? What happens if? But you don't have to do everything at once.
Yeah.
You can scaffold
Is
the
that-
autonomy in the same way you'd scaffold the grammar, for example. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also, like if you've got like a new approach that you want to try, and it can be quite scary. It might be like, for example, back in the day when we first used interactive whiteboards, it was quite daunting, right? It was daunting.
Yeah.
What new piece of equipment? How do I use it? Like, what am I going to do with it? And I guess it's just an example of that. Like, what do I do? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, do you want to? You've got a question there?
We can go with with the third question right here. What are some small practical steps teachers can take to encourage autonomy, especially in more traditional classroom settings? That's what we were talking about early, right? Some small, like, practical steps for teachers so that they can take to encourage autonomy. Any little tips? Yeah.
Encourage the students to move around the classroom. I was talking to a colleague about this, and she taught, I'm not sure where in East Asia, but the desks were fixed to the floor and the chairs were fixed to the floor.
Yeah.
And so she got the students to move around. Yeah, that's one thing you can do. You have to sort of think outside your classroom box a little bit.
Yeah.
And what works really well in any classroom is encouraging the learners to reflect on things, what they did well, which is really good for motivation, and motivation is good for autonomy. What gaps they can see in their knowledge, what they want to learn, what they want to do better, and what they want to learn next, and then sort of getting them to think, how can I learn this? Do I need to be in a classroom to learn this, or can I watch a video? Can I try reading something? Can I try blogging?
Yeah.
Can I go in a chat room?
Yeah. I see learner autonomy as like, let's have an analogy of like a ladder, and you're at the bottom of a ladder, and at the very top of the ladder where you want to get, that's true learner autonomy. But you've got different rungs of the ladder that you need to ascend in order to get to the top, this full learner autonomy. And it can start in the classroom, like choose your own activities, move students around so that they start to take control of their own learning, and it's not so teacher directed. And these
absolutely.
are the ladder. Go home and find a website about learning English, and then come back tomorrow and tell people what the website is. So you've got all of your students, they go home and they find a website that they like. come back into the classroom, you write it on the board, you get everyone's ideas, and you're developing this autonomy, and you're taking it through the rungs of the ladder towards learning autonomy. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I really understand about the fixed desks in Asia as well. Cause me and Mike, we taught in China for years. Public schools, those desks are going nowhere. Like,
always the same settings.
Bolted to the floor. So like, what do you do? Like, and you've got these like real problems that teachers have in these classrooms. How to
sometimes you bump into the desk, and that really hurt.
Yeah, you bang your knee on the underside of it. But how do you do pair work, group work, mingling? And you've got these real kind of practical problems, right? That you have to kind of overcome. You have to find a way.
Yeah, and it's different for different age groups as well. How you could work with how you work with teenagers is different to how you work with adults, is different to how you work with young learners.
Yes, true.
And I think it depends a little bit on the capacity. At different age groups, people have different capacities for motivation and reflection, I think, as you develop as a person. So maybe with very young learners, I do more sort of, I mean, I'd call it carpet time or circle time. You know, everybody's sort of in a group, and they can reflect together on the choices that they made, or give a limited number of choices. It doesn't have to be a completely free choice at that stage. It's a bit like, do you want pasta or do you want rice? You know, what would you like to do first, kind of thing. Would you rather do this in this way or in the other way? Just little choices, reflecting together, so the students get in a little bit of discussion as well. Because peer support is really important. I think it's more important for very young learners and for young learners than maybe for adults. I've taught a lot of one-to-one adults, and they're fine just choosing for themselves because they do it every day at work. But bring it down and give choices, but give them it's more a which rather than a completely free what, maybe. For young learners.
With young learners, what I like to do, I like laminate some smiley cards, like emojis, like smiley, plain face, sad, tears, really happy, love. And then at the end of, like in the morning, if I sit down with the students, we do circle time, hold up an emoji about how you feel that day. So you are giving students, even very young learners, choice. And you start weaving in the idea of choice into all of your classes, and then hopefully they can start taking that away. Once they understand that they have choice in the classroom, they can take it away, and they realize that there's also choice at home as well. For
and
autonomy.
you could even use those emoji cards after an activity. How do you feel about talking about animals? Or how do you feel about talking about family or something? And they can hold up, and then they can talk about why it feels good, what they did well, why it feels a little bit iffy, maybe.
Really, really good. And like if you laminate them, you can kind of keep them as well, right? I used to freelance for a company called StudyCat. And StudyCat is it's a language app for predominantly for young learners, and students can learn on the iPad, they can learn on the phone, and they can learn languages. You've got very low level, it's graded, and it works up into stories. Really, really clever. StudyCat, check it out. And their big thing was about learner autonomy. And with EdTech, you've got the ability to take things out of your classroom. When students go home, the parents have a phone, and you can get apps. They're often free get them on the phone, and the student can spend 20 minutes each day
Yeah.
being on the phone. They already like going on TikTok and
Yeah.
playing games or whatever. But rather than just mindless scrolling of videos, it's his focused learning.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you can set a homework task to the parent. Okay, sit with your child and choose a story that they're interested in.
Yeah.
And the student, it's learner autonomy. They're going, and soon the student won't need the parent. They'll be picking up the tablet. They'll be picking up the phone. Mum, can I go on study cat? Can I do a story by myself while you're cooking? And this is learner autonomy.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That reminds me with my French class, you know, with my French class. Yeah, I'm lagging a bit, I guess, but you know, with my French class as well, the way I use autonomy is more because they're grade 10, 11, and 12. So I want students to, I don't want to be in their back all the time, because I told them, when you guys going to go abroad, when you're going to go to university, nobody is going to be in your back. Nobody is going to care about if you are learning or not, you know? So I let them, I'm going to be in front of the board for maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes. The total of the class is an hour and a half. And then I use that app as well, which is called VHL Central. And it's a language app, and is made by Besta. Well, this is really interesting because they can really learn without me. You know, that's pretty much this. There's audio, there are videos, they can send me their audios. So I choose generally in class, well, I explain them, you know, you still have to have that human contact, you know, that role play. And then I let them work on their on their laptop, because and I'm not going to go around, because they have to understand that they study for themselves, not for the parents to be happy, right? This is a very big problem that we have in China, because most kids, especially in international school like mine, kids are a little bit spoiled, you know what I mean? And they always need a little kick in the head so that they're going to work, you know? So, but I try to teach them how to be, you know, working without the teacher, because when they're going to arrive in university, there's no one to, you know, give you that kick in the head.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So this is a way in autonomy. I think we've been talking of, there are a lot of different ways that are really interesting, and especially that, which is pretty much with this question, right? It's all about that question right here, where we're talking about what role do online tools and digital, you know, teaching method play in building learners' autonomy today. Are the tools? So you recommend? We've been recommending some tools, right? And I think these are very important tools, because today with EdTech and all this new technology, AI and all stuff, kids can be really autonomous. They can choose the way they learn, and this is really important, because they can learn better if they like it, right?
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I've used quite a lot, it's a more classic tool, but I use Kahoot. But I let the learners write the quiz.
Me too.
Yeah. It needs a bit of checking beforehand, so they're not kind of propagating something that's not quite right. But they decide what's important for them. They decide what's important that they've learned, and present it to the others as a Kahoot. It's interactive. People get a bit competitive sometimes, which can add to the fun. And I
think Canvas is something. I use it as well. It's okay.
No, I was just going to say, because I've not really
used it as well.
Yeah, Mike. The older.
You know,
the problem is
with
China,
Kahoot today, even for language teaching. Yes, it's very interesting because you get audio. You can create slides. Kahoot is not only quizzes, it's now you have lecture mode where you can literally teach them without needing
Mm,
a PPT. And in fact, it's a slide, it's a PPT. And then the kids all get into it. So they all scan the code, enter the code, they are in it. After each slide, you have a questions, and then they answer the question so you can check the understanding, which is really
yeah,
important. And then you go on
that's
in
really
your
nice.
teaching, and Kahoot has also audio files. So when you want to play
Hmm.
after, you can, if they hear the word bonjour, what does it mean, right? So they heard the word bonjour, then they're gonna go and choose the right answer. So it makes the learning more fun and also very interesting. And there's autonomy in it because you can give Kahoots as assessment, as assignment back home,
Yeah, yeah,
as
exactly,
homework back home.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's very
either
important.
making them, either making
That's
them or answering them. Works both ways for homework. So, yeah. The other thing, it's not exactly a digital tool, um, but I love doing it with adults or older sort of teens, blogs, online
it.
blogs. Then you've
Yeah.
got an audience. Um, so it's slightly higher stakes if you're writing. So you're going to take a bit of care with your writing, but then your classmates say, or other people in the real world, they can leave you comments. And it's really good for learners reflecting on the best way to say things, the sort of self-development of language, and it's really good for them reflecting on what they've learned and how they've learned it as well. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan of blog
Yeah,
projects.
we had
Yeah.
some.
blog. There's a few blog. There's many free ones, aren't there? So you can um you can blog about what you're learning, put in pictures, put in links that are
Yeah,
interested and connected to what the topic is. That's really good for kind of teens, isn't it, and older students.
yeah, yeah.
We've got a question here from Ibtisam, which I think is important. Um, where were we? Yeah. What are some of the
Will
challenges
there
if
any
you try
challenges?
to?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. What are the challenges of trying to implement learner autonomy?
Yeah. One one of the problems is with motivation. You have to, I think it's important to try and keep the motivation, to assess the motivation levels of the student, the motivation type that the students have. Is there a certain degree of internal autonomy so they can really push themselves? Or are they more externally, instrumentally motivated, so their motivation is coming from the outside? Depending on that would depend on the path that I would take forward. I think if students can motivate themselves, then the challenge would be losing control maybe in the classroom, and how to deal with that. If the students are instrumentally motivated, you have to somehow try and turn that round and get them to own their own learning, in some way, teach it, encouraging them to reflect. Maybe what I've also done with younger learners and older ones actually, they've drawn or they've written their own learning sort of path, their own learning stories. Say, you can make it fun. You're on a hike, you're on a balloon ride. What are the steps that you're taking? Where are the obstacles? Maybe it looks like a big mountain. How are you going to get up there?
Mm.
what are you learning on the way as well? What's in the scenery? And being able to visualize it like that can be a way to get students to get hold of their own journey and see that they're walking it. It's not us. I'll walk beside you, but it's your autonomy. You have to kind of go and walk for yourself and make the steps.
That's it. So I guess you're kind of learning, kind of training the students how to learn, and like kind of thinking about this as you're planning as well, from a planning stage for your lesson. How can you weave in these little sections for autonomy? Like the ladder, like kind of what kind of things can you do over, rather than trying to like a traffic light in the street. So you're on green, then you've got amber, then you've got red. So before you go from red to green, you've always got amber, right? Any way you go. If you're going from green to red, you go through the amber. If you're going from red to green, you go through the amber. And the amber for me has always been really important in teaching. So say I'm about to do a learner, a listening task. From going from red to the green is the listening task. I always go through amber. How can I set the context? Let's talk about it. Let's start discussing the listening topic before we start listening, and before the learner autonomy, before really letting them go. The amber stage, what little things can you do over the space of a month to get your students prepared? So see it as like a long-term thing, right? By the end of 2025, I want all of my students to be able to understand how to learn autonomously, how to go home, how to choose what they're going to learn, why they've made that decision, and really be independent, truly independent. But before I get to there, and I'm here, what's the trajectory? What's the journey? What things can I do to get here? You see?
Yeah. I like that image. That's really nice.
It's really, really nice. And the thing is, you're facilitating it as well as a teacher. You're facilitating that journey with the decisions that you're making in your plan and in the classroom.
I find that a lot of teachers' books don't really put that space in. So it's having to look more at the course book and thinking, where can I get this in? What can I tweak? Where can I give the students a choice? That's something I would love to change when I'm king of teachers' books or queen of teachers' books. That's what I'm changing. So that there's
so many failings in textbooks.
So
many failings. There's no spiraling with textbooks. There's no spiraling to go back to review language. It's just like Unit 1, holidays. Unit 2, food. Unit 3, clothes. And then end of the book. Next book. There's no spiraling of the language. And there's no thought to put in how can we build in language learning autonomy in this textbook. There's nothing out there.
I know they have to be one size fits all, but we could change the pattern a bit. We don't all have to be wearing hoodies the whole time. We could wear something slightly different, slightly more autonomous.
Or just have a page in there. Little autonomous exercises that build on each other throughout. Kirstie, we should be textbook writers. We should collaborate and write a textbook, I think.
I'd love it. Autonomous learning with a textbook. Definitely.
I think we're onto a winner. Mike, how's the giveaway going?
That would be awesome. Just checking people as well. I had one or two on Instagram because we can't see the message on Instagram, but for sure everything is right here. I'm gonna show it a little bit again. Let me see. It's right here. It's always a little bit difficult. Yeah, I gotta share my screen, and so everyone can feel free to join the giveaway. We get ebooks for everyone, so you just have to type dash and ESL win, and I enter your name into that giveaway. That is going to be like in a good 10 minutes. Yes, and a little bit more. We're going to do that. We're going to try. First time we're using this method, right, Stu?
Oh, the old Wheel of Names. It's such a good website. You just you can put in topics, student names. I use it all the time when I'm teaching. It's free and completely random, and you can share the screen. The students get excited, and you get a little round of applause for the winner. But type in ESL win and enter the draw.
Yeah, for now
Go.
we have Kachi on Instagram, Ibtisam, and Brendam. So feel free, guys, to hashtag ESL win again. I hashtag it again. So you can copy, and on Instagram as well. We are, yeah, there are almost 10 15 people on Instagram. Thank you for coming. Very
Yay,
good.
yes, sir.
Easter. Okay, so we're gonna. Oh, that's an example. That's awesome. That's like Stu said, you can use it in a classroom, right? Esther, and you see
Yeah,
she's in. Oh, I
yeah.
mean, and then you
A massive
ask a
S.
little bit smaller. We'll be fine.
Actually,
Oh yeah,
talking.
man, it's not easy. I got to do everything behind.
Yeah, it's like Mike's in the man. He's like sitting there in the background trying to like read like 5 screens at the same time. It's very impressive, actually. Um,
I'm the
talking
MC.
about talking about learning autonomy. Actually, it's really student centered because you students choose the path, the journey that they want to take.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
could say, right, movies, songs, apps, websites, communities, groups, blogs, and you can direct them and start. And this is another thing about learner autonomy, which we haven't touched on yet, is the power of learner autonomy on learner motivation.
yeah,
You've got, I worked in China for 20 years, 21 years. So I was teaching in China. And the problem in China, there's always lots of exams, lots of tests, and students, they often see English.
mm,
You ask them, why are you learning English to a Chinese student? Most of them will answer because I have a test coming. They can't see beyond the
yeah,
test. Like the reason they're learning English is because the teacher gives them a test about it. And that's the reason that they learn English. And so
yeah,
they've got no motivation. They feel bad. They're motivated by fear of doing badly in the test rather than
yeah,
being motivated by improvement in language and feeling good about themselves. Everything's very negative, nothing's positive. So when
mm,
you're doing like learner autonomy, you are showing the student that there's more to language learning than meets the eye. It's not just about the
yeah,
classroom. They can go home. Yeah, you've given them a blog. You showed them in the classroom, right? This is the blog. This is what the kind of things you can do. Let's work together now to put a link in. Let's put a photo in. Make a little movie of
yeah,
yourself saying this sentence and upload the sentence onto the blog. You can set it as private,
yeah,
so only those in the classroom can see it. There's so many things you can do that students can feel good about language learning. Feel
yeah,
I
yeah,
can do this. This is working.
yeah, yeah. There was a really, really nice study that was done with, I think it was university students in China. So tertiary level, but I think it would work at other levels. And they had a sort of a WhatsApp community, and I think it was called the Blue Cloud Cafe or something. They called it. They chose the name for it,
Yeah.
and it was student moderated, student led. The
Huh.
The lecturer would
Clever.
come in if there was a question,
Mhm.
but they wouldn't interfere, and it let the
Mm.
learners really develop their own second language personality. It let them own the language,
Yeah,
and it was lovely. It was just
yeah.
lovely. Um,
That wouldn't have been WhatsApp. That would have been this little one here. See those two language bubbles?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
WeChat. WeChat.
WeChat. Yeah.
WeChat is like WhatsApp, but like 5 times as good. WeChat is amazing. Yeah, you've got like it's got all of these features that WhatsApp just doesn't have. It's got
Mm.
like it's like Facebook and WhatsApp in one. It's a really great app. It would have been that,
Ooh,
and that's a
yeah.
fantastic.
And
I
you can
taught
buy two
tertiary in China.
potatoes with it.
Yeah, and you can buy potatoes with it as well, or anything. You know, you can shop with it. Everyone in China, they never use cash; they just shop on WeChat. Like it's very, very clever app. Yeah, so
Alipay.
I taught a university in China for 7 of the years that I was there.
Mhm.
Motivation is a huge problem. Lots of English is a compulsory module in nearly all of the Chinese degrees. So you've got students who
Mm.
might be learning medicine, they might be learning, hotel management, whatever. They'll have like English as a module, and most of them hate it.
Mm.
When is the English ever going to end? It never ends learning English, and they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So something like this, making this group, giving them the autonomy to go in there, like interact in the group, type in English messages. That will help with their grammar, will help with their sentence structure, everything. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
love it, love it.
Helps them to be
Yeah,
them in English. They're
that's
not
it.
just
Well,
sort of
where,
in a
where did you see
classroom
this
saying
early?
what they have to say. Um,
Yeah,
where did I read it? I can't remember which of the teaching journals it was in.
hmm
If anybody wants to know, I'll find out and I'll put a reference to it on, I can do it on LinkedIn. I can link it to one of our posts on LinkedIn.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That sounds ideal.
I'm
That
gonna
sounds ideal.
yeah.
send your. I'm gonna put your link right away. Wait a moment from LinkedIn. It's super slow today. Oh man.
Just
uh,
while
yeah,
Mike's doing that, yeah, let's close this up with what advice would you give to? There'll be
that's
teachers
a
watching
good.
this. They'll be watching this now. They'll be watching the replay, and they're like, right, I like the sound of this learner autonomy stuff. I've not really given much thought to it before. How can I do it? And just give some quick tips. How would you encourage learner autonomy, and where to start again? If we can just go back over that again.
Yeah. One thing, the important thing is you're going to try it. We should start with ourselves. So trying out learner autonomy and experimenting in the classroom so that we've got experience of it, experience of being autonomous learners in our professional development. Then we can support learners in becoming autonomous themselves. Because we know where the pitfalls are, we know where it's scary, and it's scary for the learners as well, to be honest,
Mm.
if they're particularly used to a traditional setting.
Mm.
And scaffold the choices, little choices to start with before you go all out and they have a completely free choice. Maybe start with classroom management and then move into autonomy in the type of language they want to learn, how they want to learn it, autonomy in materials design as well. As we were talking about, the students make quizzes, the students make Kahoots. That's quite high up the ladder, I would say. So don't start with, oh, everybody, you're going to choose a topic and make a Kahoot. Start with a choice
Mm.
between the topics. Baby steps, one rung at a time on the ladder,
Yeah, yeah.
and just go for it. I think it's scary. I know I was petrified when I started, but it's so worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, baby steps. That's a really good analogy of it. Just take your time, give choices in the classroom. Do that, and don't just do that for 1 week. It can be over a month or
It's
6
a
weeks.
long-term thing. It's a long-term thing. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. And then start giving tasks to do at home, and then come in with the feedback so they can start doing things alone. Then after they've been doing that for some weeks, you can give them an app, and you say, right, complete this thing on the app, and then come back and give the answers in the class, and just keep baking the cake,
Yeah. And model the autonomy. Show them a couple of. Sorry, my dog now thinks he's a wolf.
It's all right. It's normally, Kirstie, don't worry. It's normally my dog. In fact, did you see that door open about half an hour ago? It was my dog. It wasn't any. It was my dog. My dog gets involved.
Yeah. What I'll try and say between the howling is, model the autonomy as well. So if you've got a great website, show it to the students. Say, I found it by doing this. There's other things out there. Why don't you go and look? So you're taking them sort of outside of the classroom, modeling autonomous behavior for them.
Yeah. Show them. It's like modeling an activity in the classroom, right? Like modeling a speech activity. You model what they're expected to do at home, so they don't just get there. Oh, what do I do now? I can't remember. I won't do it then.
Yeah.
That's a great topic, really. Yeah. Thank you so much. So everyone, feel free to follow Kirstie Jackson Wilms on LinkedIn. The link is right here. The link is in the chat. And I would like to say a big thank you to Kirstie for coming today in the live.
Thank you for having me.
Never easy to do live.
It was lovely. It was lovely. Thank you ever so much.
It's never easy.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I think I've learned a lot, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I've learned a lot, and I think everyone watching this would have learned a lot about it as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Kirstie, for coming today. We're going to set you free. This is Saturday. I think it's going to be lunchtime for you, huh?
Yeah. Time to take the dog out now. So, yeah. Okay.
So, like what we say in French, bon appétit and merci beaucoup. Thanks. Have a good lunch, a good weekend. Thank you, Kirstie.
You too, guys. Thank you.
All right, Kirstie. Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Awesome. We learned a lot of stuff today. That was a really cool one. Autonomy, things that we never usually hear in ESL teaching, right?
Yeah, like it's when you do your training, your training doesn't really cover this. How can you how can you teach your students to be autonomous? What can you do? What things can you set at home? And there's so many things that you can do. Yeah, very, very cool. Oh, do I see a wheel?
Exactly. So everyone, feel free. Yes, the wheel of names. Feel free. You still have like 2-3 minutes. You go and you do hashtag ESL win to win an ebooks about innovative approaches in ESL teaching, kind of ebook that can help you, try if you want to start using these tools in the classroom. Perfect little ebook. It's a guide from myself that I created for you to help you, step by step in the classroom using blended learning. Because with AI these days and all these tools, you gotta do it. You gotta go for it. You gotta give it a try, and it will change your classroom for sure forever. So
That's
feel free, guys. guys, type ESL win, hashtag ESL win. We have already 4 people in it. That's great. Pretty cool, Stu. Everything all right, Stu? How's everything with you
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in? You
all
still
good.
have your TESOL course on it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Got the mine still like yep. Still got the TESOL course, and yeah, got a couple more
Yeah.
trainees started this week. We actually cover learner autonomy in the classroom and things that students can do at home with learner autonomy, like using their phones, apps, using a photo. Making a photo dictionary, so taking photos of different objects that they come across and making like a digital photo thing. That's one of the things that we cover. So learner autonomy is really covered well in the TESOL course. So if you want to start a TESOL course with a difference, it's a little bit better than a lot of the offerings out there, check out the TEFL Lemon 180-hour higher certificate of TESOL.
Yes, and the link is in the chat. A super TEFL course that I really recommend to everyone, and it's accredited. You can with this, you're gonna find all kind of ESL jobs or English teacher jobs in all around the world. It's accredited by an accredited body called ACTEC, right? Which is
Yeah,
one of
ACTEC.
the most difficult accreditation that you can have in this world.
That's it. It's the one of the most difficult. I could have chosen an accreditation. A lot of accreditation bodies out there are dodgy. You pay them, they'll accredit it. Thank you. Give me the money. Thanks. It's accredited. We didn't do that. We chose the hardest one, and they improved the course no end. Yeah, they only accredit 3 courses in the whole world. All the others fail. They don't get
What? Only
accredited.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost
So
impossible to
imagine.
get
Yeah,
accredited.
someone
It's really hard.
wow. So guys, go for it. The link is in the description. If you want to have a real TEFL course, go for Stu ones. He's gonna be here with you, helping you all the way, supporting you. And yes, we had as well Ricky Knox was saying, what are those words here on the top? Yeah, these words are for the giveaway, giving an ebook away for today. So you can, do I add your name?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're
I
gonna go. Hey, a
probably
big shout out as
probably.
well to Sharina right
Oh, hey,
here.
Trina.
Welcome, Sharina Smith. She was one of our guests a couple of months ago. She's always very, uh, how to say, very active on Mike's Home ESL and the ESL live stream, and always it was a good fun. We had a good live with her as well.
Yeah, Sharina runs a group called TEFL on the Go, and it's great if you're particularly if you're a new teacher and you need the guidance and support from those around you. You don't really know what you're doing, but you know you want to do a great job. Check out TEFL on the Go. It's a good starting point for you.
Great. So we're not gonna wait anymore, and let's spin that wheel to see who's gonna be the winner. Hey, Ibtissim, right? We'll see.
We
Here
don't
we
want to
go.
make it.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's completely random. Gucci.
Yeah, Gucci on Instagram. He was, I don't know if it's he or she, but I will have to find him back right there on Instagram. If you see that, feel free to contact me on this email right here that I'm writing. This is my best email. If you want to contact me, there's no problem for others. You might be in my spam folder, but I always check out my spam folder because there are a lot of people contacting you, and sometimes it goes in the spam. That even sometimes one of your email went to my spam folder. So
It drive you mad, spam
so
folders, don't they? They
congratulations
really
to Gucci.
wrong thing. Yeah, well done, Kuchi.
Yeah,
Yeah, well done, Uptism.
and that's gonna be it.
Uptism
So
just finished the TESOL course, so
yes.
she's got her certificate
Oh, really?
on the way soon. Yeah, yeah.
You see, this is testimonial. It's really important here in the live. This is not the TEFL that are the fake ones, right? That we can see a lot around in here. We can see here at the SEM. You can maybe contact her if you want to. She would be she can tell how the course is good. Thank you,
Yeah, she
Ibtisam.
was a
A big
really
shout
good
out to Ibtisam.
trainer. Yeah,
Yes,
she was
thank you, Stu.
really good.
That's gonna be it for today. I hope you're gonna have a good weekend. The weather is nice as well in Xi'an, China, and hope to see you. We're gonna go on next week. Today, a lot of people came on the live. That was nice. Very good topic. Feel free as well if you want to join. Yeah, Stu. People can
Yeah,
come as well, right?
yeah. Just you can message Mike or myself. We can get you
On
on the live.
LinkedIn.
Kirstie today, yeah, on LinkedIn. Kirstie today had never done a live before. This was her first time. She had a passionate interest that she wanted to share, so we got her on. We want to hear from you. So if you are out there, you've got a really passionate about a particular area, come on, we'll talk about it.
That's it. Good vibes only here on the ESL live stream, the teachers live stream, and it's going to be every Saturday 6 p.m. The replay will be as well on Sunday 9 p.m. And today we were live on the ESL live stream channel as well. So if you want to go and check as well on, it's easy. You get I don't know where the link, it doesn't matter, not a big deal. But we try to work closer with only one channel for lives, but uh we'll see. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Stu, and I'll see you next week, right?
Yep, see you there, same time next week.
All right, cheers guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.